Alright, so excuse the darkness, but I have something I gotta say. It's revolving around the third density. And you know, giants of third density and vibration and the universal laws, the natural laws, excuse the truck. And let me go this way, damn. Oh, my bad. I don't know what the it got turned over. Okay, so we're in a density, I'm just gonna get straight. We're in a density where I very much feel like, all right, so first of all, vibration, everything vibrates. Okay, what the fuck? I don't know why it keeps doing that. I don't know why I keep doing that. I gotta focus now. I gotta stay looking at the camera so that doesn't happen again. Excuse me. Okay, so vibration. The natural laws, right? Vibration, correspondence, everything corresponds. Everything is in a state of vibration. Everything is energy. What is this? What is the science behind this? Well, everything comprises of molecules, right? Science proves this. And not just that, but when you go deeper into the molecule, everything is an atom and comprises of electrons and protons, right? Ultimately, everything is made up of molecules and protons and atoms and so on, right? Which, you know, basically equate to energy. Matter is just energy. So even though what we have is like this right here, this is hard, right? Look how hard this is and dense. But all that is, and I'm gonna spit the craziest analogy. But all that is just a very low, you could say, level of vibration. When vibration is lower, it moves slower, it's heavier, and the like, right? But when anything that's energy, when it vibrates higher, it's faster, it's lighter, right? Think about the whole ascension thing you talk about in evolution. What's the whole point of evolving in a higher dimension? To become lighter, to become, you know, less dense, to become basically freer, in the sense that we're not as bound, held back, right? Now, okay, that's like a lesson in vibration and just energy, basic like 101 lesson in vibration energy and how that relates to dimensions. The higher you go in the dimensions, basically the lighter you go, and the higher you vibrate energetically, right? So if we're in the lower dimension, right, the lower dimensions of like 1, 2, and 3, those are lower, you know, lower vibrations. So what does that mean? That means things are gonna be more dense, heavier, slower compared to the higher dimensions, right? So think about it. I was thinking about something, and this is basically this is my insight and wisdom to those on the pursuit towards you know, evolution and ascension in their own ascension and evolution path, you know, and towards truth and so on. Now, excuse me, we're in the lower dimensions, right? So things are heavier here. Things are not as light, not as free, so to speak, at least in comparison to higher dimensions. So we can very much say that. Now, here's something that I wanted to link with all of this that I felt could be helpful. The analogy of how, how it's been said that low energy, low vibration is like a black hole, and it seems to suck you in, right? Well, if lower energy, very low vibrational energy, is like a black hole, it seems to suck you in, right? It's absorbing, it's absorbing, it's very absorbing. It pulls you like quicksand. Well, think about it. Why is third density life for us, right? We're in third density, human beings, we're in third density. And other beings in other parts of the galaxy, but I'm talking about humans right now. But any being that might be watching this, I don't know. This kind of pertains to you too, I guess. Anyways, whatever. But if the third density is a lower vibrational, energetic density, right? So in many ways, why is it so fucking tough here? Excuse my language. But what is one of the reasons you could say it's so tough here? It's because, well, if we're in a lower density, right? We're in the very lower beginning stages of the densities. That means that the vibration is going to be lower. Well, what did we talk about regarding low vibration? When low vibration is so low, it seems to suck you in, right? It seems to keep you down, basically. Well, what if you could say, in many ways, that that's the whole thing regarding third density, is that this is very much a density that's designed to keep us, not designed to keep us down necessarily, but it's like, that's just the way it is. It's vibrating lower, and so moving up towards the higher dimensions isn't as simple of a thing into certain levels and degrees, because it's like we're like in glue. My analogy was like, it's like we're in glue. Imagine trying to move to get to your destination when you're in glue, and it's like you're being pulled back and you're stuck and you're sticking to everything, and you're trying to move forward, but it's like you're stuck in glue. Well, that's what I'm trying to say. It's like, what if the third density is kind of like glue, or like the black hole kind of type energy? It's just everything is vibrating lower. Everything, it's not as light, it's not as pro, expansion. Not necessarily that it's not pro expansion, but there's like the energy is basically like, it's not as, it doesn't seem to in and of itself propel you energetically in that sense, aside from catalyst, which acts as a propeller, which kind of sucks in the third dimension. Catalyst being a law of one term. Catalyst meaning everything that we face, everything that upsets us, everything that bothers us, gets to us, whatever, is designed, catalyst is designed to move us forward, right? But that's the thing, everything that's designed to move us forward, a lot of the stuff that's designed to move us forward has to be stuff that, is heavy, so to speak, if you know what I mean. And so basically, catalyst is like it. Oh man, I lost my train of thought. But catalyst is like, it propels us forward according to I totally lost my train of thought. I had it. Whatever, I guess it wasn't that important. If I forgot it like that, I've learned to just be like, whatever, when you forget stuff, right? Because if it was really that important, I would be remembering it. It'll probably come back to me if it's important. But anyways, yeah. So, like, we're just in a heavy dimension that seems to hold us back. There's catalyst, but it's like, catalyst, like, is like, in order for us to evolve, move forward, like the glue analogy, the third density is like glue. We need to just, if we can be aware of the fact that it's very much like we're in glue. It's very much like we're in a vibration that's kind of like pulling us, and is like, you stay in third density. Stay in third density. Everything vibrates lower compared to the fourth density. Excuse me. If we were in higher dimensions, like, okay, if we're in the fifth dimension, I'm not an expert, and I admit this is just based on my research. Like, there's a lot of misinformation, but hypothetically, if a lot of what's based on my research, I'm trying to be as level-headed as possible, if the fifth dimension and so on, if they're what I understand them to be, at least to a level and degree, then the fifth dimension, wouldn't you say that the fifth dimension, since it's lighter, it's more about, there's the love energy that just naturally comes more. Everything is less dense. Don't you think that it's not that it's easier to move to the sixth dimension from there and everything into higher dimensions, but that it's more like it's not as like, there's not as much of a pulling kind of energy that seems to be like holding you back. And so I guess I'm just trying to shed light on what this dimension is, and in order to help people on their evolutionary path. I feel quite possibly that the third dimension, it's just like, it's a dimension that's like, the key is to vibrate higher. But you have to vibrate higher when everything around you is trying to keep you down, and trying to kind of, in many ways prevent you. And it's also not just, and then this is a different thing, but crazily, it kind of proves my point even more so of how it's kind of like we're in glue. Third density beings are kind of like in glue on their path towards evolution. Is because not just that, but then you have all the negative beings, all the the people, the negative people, the toxic people, who are literally as well, like, they're vibrating lower, and they're trying to stop us. They're like, no, stop evolving, stop expanding, stop getting bigger, stop growing and moving forward. Now, it's like there's a huge agenda, like satanic agenda and everything like that. Not only with the whole satanic thing, but also just unbelievably everyday people, for various reasons, they get trapped into the whole, like, satanic type mindset and so on. And it's just people all around in different various ways trying to keep us down, having that black hole kind of energy. And so you see, it's like we're in glue. Like those who seek to evolve, as it is our birthright, we're doing so basically like in glue, basically being sucked down, so to speak. And so I kind of wanted to just shed that light, because once we can realize kind of where we are in that sense, we can it's like the evolution can be so much more straightforward, not just individually but also collectively. The more people that hear what I'm saying and absorb what I'm saying and consider what I'm saying can, you know, can make a difference in the masses, the collective evolution. And so, which, you know, is said to be the ascension. I don't know if that's true or not. There's a lot of misinformation. But either way, we can still individually evolve. You know what I mean? And so, like, yeah, it's like, because now, once we can come to terms with the fact that, okay, well, damn, bro. Once you start to understand energy, everything is in a constant state of vibration. And my body is vibration. The smells in the air are a vibration, according to either, you know, like negativity or positivity. Because polarity, that's another natural law. Everything has its poles, opposite poles. This is kind of like a Hermetic philosophy of incorporated into my message of, you know, aiding in evolution and expanding awareness toward evolution and where we are in the density that we're in, but also how that pertains to laws, because how the laws of the universe, you know, relate to evolution. That's crucial. So when we understand everything is polarity, which means if everything is vibration, then that means everything that vibrates also has its poles. This is going deeper into understanding the universal laws and incorporating them on the deeper energetic level pertaining to evolution. That's what we need to start doing, and that's kind of what they're probably scared of. You know what I mean? That's what they're scared of, us understanding things on this level. Because once we start to understand that if everything is energy and we can raise our vibration, and in raising our vibration, the whole point of raising our vibration is to raise it to the level and degree where we vibrate so high that we literally are able to move into a higher dimension, right? Basically that's what evolution is. If you think about it in a simple sense, and there's more to it than that, but to simplify it, all ascension is, all evolution is just vibrating high enough so that we can go from one place to the other. Think of it like this: the person who I'm trying to think of a good analogy. A person who goes to the gym, who's vibrating low, in the lower energy of like, I don't want to work out, right? I don't want to work out. They're skinny. They're like, I don't want to work out. I'm tired. Well, think about what those thoughts are. Those are low vibrational thoughts. I don't want to. I can't do it. That's lower vibration, right? So, but what happens to the person who starts to vibrate higher, right? And how it pertains to that, working out, growing their physical bodies, right? What happens when they start going, I can do this. I'm going to do this. I'm doing it. I've done it. They start to push that iron more. Boom. They start to get their dumbbell curls more and, you know, and stronger. They just start to get stronger with their dumbbell curls and everything. I'm laughing because I'm thinking about this Mike Tyson thing that I just watched. He's like, I'm impetuous. My style is impetuous. I'm impregnable. My defense is impregnable. I'm just ferocious. I want to eat your children. It was mad funny. Not to veer off topic, and I don't mean to scare, like, freak anybody out. Why am I saying this? That's what Mike Tyson said, like, years ago. And it was funny. And yeah, it sounds kind of messed up that he said, but he was just speaking figuratively. So to the people who were like, oh my God, what are you doing? I shouldn't have said that because it's going to confuse people. But the smart people know what I'm saying. It was funny. I saw that. Those who know that clip, you can Google it, whatever. But it was funny. Let's just say that the person at the gym was like, just got into the Mike Tyson mindset, vibrating higher, not in the negative words like that, but like those words, but with the words, higher vibrational words of I'm ferocious, I'm impetuous, I'm impregnable. You know what I mean? That's when they vibrate higher and their body transforms. And their body goes from skinny to boom, evolution, to literally they look like Mike Tyson, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm trying to make a point. Like regarding energy, vibration, how that pertains to evolution, transformation. And so if you incorporate that understanding of vibration, energy, and so on into evolution, well now we have something crucial, a key, a major key, the key. Well, now we realize, well, what is evolution, moving into higher densities? What is the difference between fourth dimension, fifth dimension compared to the third dimension, and so on? It's just vibrating higher. The energy is just higher. It's just a higher vibration in and of itself as a whole. So what does that mean for us? That means literally, if you want to simplify it, we have to just vibrate higher in a whole way, with our thoughts, in our whole being, in our whole experience. So that means mentally we need to raise. Remember the analogy I used, that person's using the going from the lower vibrational thoughts to the higher vibrational thoughts, which then literally transformed his body. Well, it's the same thing, but only applied to everything. And this is the key. This is where it can become a little more challenging, because we have to do this in a more whole way. Yes, but it doesn't have to be so complicated the way we make it out to be. We just need to make the decision that we're gonna just be better. You know, that we're just gonna be better in general. So mentally, with all of our thoughts, every thought that we think, vibrate those thoughts from lower to higher. So instead of going, oh, F this person, screw him, screw her, whatever, start going, you know what? Everyone's different. Love, unity. That's just, you know what I'm saying? That's going from a low vibration to a higher vibration. So, mentally. So that's how you get your mind on point. Vibrate higher. Thought-wise. Emotionally. Go from this makes me feel like shit, to everything, I'm moving forward. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling like, you know what? Use your will to just be like, I feel like content, I can do this. Neutral, go into the neutral. Neutrality is a huge thing in overcoming emotions, to be honest. That's a whole other lesson. But to set the tone for you to understanding that it's not about leaning towards good or bad, but it's more of just observing everything non-judgmentally. I spoke about this in another video. That's going to be key in rising above the heaviness of emotional despair. You just need to be like, okay, if everything is polarity, then that means literally unhappiness is happiness. So whenever you feel unhappy, just be like, okay, well, happiness and unhappiness are one. And so what that means is they're just the same thing to various levels and degrees. So, because, like, for example, you can be really, really unhappy, or you could just be a little unhappy. You could be really, really hot, or you could just be kind of warm, you know? It's all one and the same thing. So you just go, okay, I'm unhappy. Or, no, unhappiness is the same thing as happiness, in a sense. It's one with it. So I'm just gonna be neutral. Like, happiness, unhappiness. Like, I'm gonna just observe non-judgmentally. You know what I mean? Practice that. Try that out. Research that, what I'm saying. Study the laws. Study polarity. Understand polarity more. Understand neutrality more. There are many resources. I'm going to provide links in this video. I don't want to make this too long. I wanted to make this as straightforward as possible. I said a lot, but I'm really trying to, I want to just drive this in a straightforward way to people so they could be like, oh, wow. This is the key to evolution. A lot of what I'm saying are major keys to evolution and towards us really moving to that next level, basically, which is going from third density, you know, like, and I'm not even gonna say negative. I have the habit of making it negative, but in and of itself, it's not negative. And so that's how you know me saying that I'm practicing what I preach, because I'm applying neutrality to everything as well, including this. Even though I might have the inclination to be like, oh, third density is negative. Third density, lower vibrational, third density experience and action and behavior. It's BS. But the reality is it's not. Because remember, if it's BS, then that means it's not BS. It's just what it is. And so video got cut off, ran out of space. What it really means is it's just, that's where we happen to be. We're in the third density. Our perception of it is however we choose for it to be. But whatever we choose for it to be, you know, I mean, in the light of the all, God, however you want to call it, infinite intelligence, that is just what it is. It's kind of it seems complex, but once you start to understand the universal laws, you start to understand, okay, like everything is just like, it's like, remember the caterpillar and the butterfly analogy? Did I talk about that? I don't know if I talked about this, but I was making an analogy where how it's like the caterpillar can be in the cocoon and be like, oh, I'm trapped. Oh no, I'm trapped, right? Oh, but is it trapped? Is the caterpillar trapped? No. Although you can look at it like that, but that's just a perception. Nothing, but beyond that is just having an experience. You know what I mean? And eventually it evolves in that cocoon and becomes a butterfly. Well, that's very much how third density is. It seems like we're trapped. This is kind of like we're in glue, and we have to vibrate higher in every way. Mentally, vibrate higher mentally, vibrate higher physically, eat healthier, you know, eat more pure, organic, like, spiritually, energetically, be aware of energy, that everything is energy, including, like, air, you know, including other people's thoughts around you. Thoughts are things, thoughts are energy. So be aware of energy spiritually, you know, raise the energy. Make sure that you surround yourself with energy, literally other people's thoughts and everything, that's not going to deplete you and drag you down. So basically, like, you know, like, distance yourself from toxic people, you know. That's spiritually a healthy thing to do. That's vibrating higher spiritually and energetically. All of these things matter. And once we start to realize things in this sense of how everything is energy, everything is vibration, everything is polarity, and we can choose to just be neutral and rise above the polarity trap and not be dragged down by, oh, good day, bad day, good mood, bad mood. And when we could just literally be like, okay, like, this is just what it is. I don't have to feel bad right now. I can just be in a place where it's like God, you know what I mean? How I'm supposed to be, so to speak. You know what I mean? So it's like, and then we vibrate higher energetically as a whole, mentally as a whole, physically as a whole, to up to a certain point. Once we can do that up to a certain point, that's when we can evolve. That's when we'll be will vibrate so higher that our will start to transform. Just like, remember the body analogy, the gym person's analogy, when they vibrated their thoughts high enough, when they took the action is energy, when you take action. So when they took the higher vibrational action of doing something for their body, that their body, it benefits their body, that's when they transformed physically. Well, once we start to, you know what I mean? Once we start to vibrate higher as a whole, in our whole being, mentally, energetically, spiritually, up to a certain point, then won't we not have any other choice but to, in our whole being, vibrate higher? Isn't it the same thing? You know what I mean? Just a different scenario. And so that's the kind of wisdom and insight that I wanted to share with you guys. And, you know, understanding what our experience is here, what our experience is here in the third dimension, and how the third dimension is, you know, it can be very, you know, like a black hole keeping us down. Then we can change our strategy, basically, our evolutionary strategy, our strategy towards moving forward in that higher place vibrationally as a whole, and in different areas of our life that we choose to and desire to. Because then we can realize it's like the person being trapped in glue, trying to move forward, and they're just being pulled back, and they're like, how do I do this? There's no hope. But once you realize you're just in, but that person didn't realize they were in glue, right? But what happens when the person realizes they're in glue and they accept it? Then they're just like, okay, I'm in glue, which means I just have to pull. I just have to push through. I just have to strike through the glue and rip myself out of the glue, right? And so you have to just hyper focus and just boom, move. You feel me? And then eventually you get out of the glue and you become free. Well, that's how you can look at the third density. Just realize that it's heavy here. We're being pulled down. When we can realize and accept this, then we can change our strategy, and we could just be like, this is what it is, and just rip through the heaviness that's holding us back, and finally evolve, you know?